Welcome to another episode of ZoeTV. Ooh, I like that. That was like in sequence.
ZoeTV.
ZoeTV.
Okay.
We have a great show, as always. We always are very excited about our shows, but today we got a longtime ally on the Glencroft side, and Dr. Gerald Berg.
I love him.
Dr. Berg, chiropractor. So many of you out there have worked with him and know him really well. I talked to a lot of residents that have heard of Dr. Berg and have wanted his info from me that are just, I think, doing some feelers on him. And I think he will, as always, give really good perspective to chiropractic care and to this demographic.
Well, exactly. And I think he gives a good name to the word chiropractor.
I do.
Because I know for years I was afraid of chiropractors because I had this image of them like cracking your neck and then you were paralyzed. And he just has such a gentle approach and such a, he does pressure points and it never hurts because I have had him, adjust me for years and it's always been a positive experience.
I think anybody out there that has gone down the road of chiropractors, you get one that you can trust and knows the way your body is in alignment and the way your body talks. And once you find that person, you don't want to let go.
No.
Because, and I've seen that with Dr. Berg, with so many of our residents, that Dr. Berg saved me here, Dr. Berg saved me here. And what we'll talk about in the interview is the idea that Dr. Berg really is an ally for us and that he is a critical mass on so many of our residents that we're able to see in the Performance Center with Parkinson's and now with stroke that are really getting the benefit of having Dr. Berg, that piece in place, and then having the workout side in place that we are communicating with him. So we're all this cohesive dialogue about the resident, and that's what becomes so fun.
Well, and he's been so generous. I mean, let's be honest. He has done
from day one. Dr. Berg has given us so much time.
Yes, and that's.
Dr. Berg is going to be, as always, I think this is his third time. He might have more interviews on ZoeTV than anyone else. Well, this could be number 3.
First with me, so good.
That's awesome. And then we got, who do we have?
Marcos Perez in security, supervisor of transportation, parking and security. Big job. It really is a big job.
Does that fit on a name badge? Does that
he might have 3. I'm guessing.
It's impressive.
Yes.
He carries a lot of hats. In reality, all really big projects he's over responsible, especially the transportation.
Oh my goodness.
I can't imagine that puzzle every morning.
No, and just his attitude is so welcoming, and I think it translates to all the employees.
I do too.
So I'm excited to talk with him and get to know more about him.
I think he's going to give good perspective. As always, we like to find these little nuggets of staff members that are here because they have a heart for Glencroft, that are, you might know them, you might see them, but not know what makes them tick.
Right.
And I hope to get that out of him.
I hope
we are skipping Resident of Inspiration this week.
Right.
We are flash forwarding to next week, so that will be back in action. But we have these amazing 2 guests with us, amazing 2 interviews I know are coming. So stick with us. Those are coming up next.
Welcome. We are very excited to introduce anybody who doesn't know you and reintroduce all the ones that already know you. But this is Marcos Perez. He is the supervisor of transportation and security.
And parking.
Oh, and parking.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. I know, I got in trouble for parking in the wrong spot. But I only did that because someone parked in my spot. Okay, just wanted to clear that up. But anyway, Marcos, we are so glad you work with us because you are a welcome face on our campus. You're always smiling under that mask. And so we are just getting to know you. Tell us what brought you to Glencroft, what made you want to be in the security business.
Okay. So originally I was working at QT before this, so didn't want to be there anymore, so put in my 2 weeks. Then my brother was working here before I was, my younger brother, and so I decided to check it out and did an interview with Gino. Went pretty well. So I started off as a regular security guard.
Okay.
And then eventually a year in, the opportunity for me to become supervisor, right? And then I went and did that, and I got the job for supervisor. So now I'm almost, I think, about a year in being a supervisor.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, it's nice.
So
I like working here.
Good. Tell us what your job entails. What happens when you get here to Glencroft?
So in the morning, what I usually do is I schedule the transportation throughout the campus. So medical appointments, we have, personal trips and such, all that good stuff, shuttles, and I process the paperwork and put in the charges. And
that's a lot of work, getting all that organized like a puzzle,
right?
Right?
Every morning,
putting a puzzle together.
Trying to see which works better,
right?
The routes and stuff. So it can be hectic sometimes, but I like it.
And then you oversee the rest of the security team?
And yes, I do oversee the rest of the security. I come in, check around, see if everyone's good, if they need anything. And then we have, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, tell us how many work in security, and are they here 24 hours a day?
So we have about, you want to know the number of employees we have?
Well, just, who's in the security, not names, but like how many, and
how many would be on at one time?
Do they cover a shift 24 hours, or is there a time where that's not?
So we're covered 24 hours a day, so security is always here. And we have about, I would say, 6 or 7 security guards here at one time, in the mornings, afternoons.
So even at night, so even if someone has an emergency at 2 in the morning, they call and
it's always covered, They go there, assess the situation. If paramedics are needed, or if it's just someone that's not supposed to be on campus, we'll kick them off the campus.
Okay. Do you guys have, so since COVID kind of came in, and you being here as long as you have, you were pre-COVID, here's how we do security, here's how we do life, and then COVID came into the forefront in March. What changed in your world of a day-to-day operational the way COVID hit us?
Okay, so originally we didn't have people stationed on the Alice, Butler, and so when COVID hit, we ended up putting 2 people on each Alice and Butler, so 2 per court, 1 per court, 2 per court, sorry. And we were checking temperatures, keeping a log of names, who they were visiting, their phone numbers, just in case we needed to contact them for anything. And now we had one at the back gate as well, checking temperatures. Front gate, same thing.
And there is no sneaking in.
There's no sneaking in.
I can tell you every day.
And it's great though.
And I have to say, I have to give a plug to the people that you hire, because they are always so friendly and so nice. It never feels intimidating. And that was part of the fear in the beginning with you guys out there. Like, we didn't want to look like the bad guys are stopping you and you're not welcome. That doesn't happen at all.
And I think they do such a good job of the perception of security is, well, wait a minute, but like you said, they're always smiling, it's engaging, it's very much, hey, we're here for your safety.
It's all about the contact.
And it's not doom and gloom security guy like we're locking you in this place. It's we're here for you, and I got a smile on my face, and I always think that when I drive through that.
I do
these
too,
guys
honestly.
Are really good.
You've done a really good job, and I will say, because both you and I have been MOD, manager on duty, and I'm always impressed and writing rave reviews because I have, for some reason, every time I'm MOD, something major happens, really major.
I'm quiet.
And I have seen response like that, and it's impressive what you guys do and the time that you get it done.
Yeah, I agree.
So
appreciate it.
And so tell us a little bit about like what Steve said. So what about if I'm a resident, not that I am, but maybe one day soon, you never know, and I fall in my apartment and you don't know me and I call you, what is the procedure?
So if there's a fall, we take the call. So we take the call, we go to the unit, we knock on the door. If someone, if she's obviously not going to answer, but we knock just as a courtesy. Security, Marcos, and we'll scan our badge. We have a fob that unlocks all the doors, so we have access to everything. We open the door, and we go and see where they're at. And the first thing,
I'm sure you have masks on.
We're masked up
all the time.
Masked up, gloves, sanitizer in the car, everything ready, and we'll go and then we'll assess the situation. If we can assist them up to their feet without having to call the paramedics, that's a win for us.
And for them, right? Most people don't want.
But if we assess it and they have some type of pain, we will go ahead and call the paramedic, just because we don't want to hurt hurt them more than they could already be. And then if we do assist them up, and then we do have our procedures after our protocol. We do call the POA,
MOD.
Not the MOD.
Oh.
Lost my train of thought. Sorry.
You call? Are you talking still about?
No, we call
paramedics,
the family members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power of attorney.
It is
power
the
of attorney.
power
Sorry,
of attorney. You were right.
Yeah, so we do call power of attorney, and we let them know, and it's a courtesy call, and we try to call them promptly as soon as it happens. We
I
call
know.
within 30 minutes, and then if the paramedics do come and they do need help, we call the paramedics. We have one guy post on the outside of the perimeter,
Okay.
and we'll flag him down, and then we'll guide him to where we're going.
Yeah, because this is a big campus.
And we'll have one guy inside, yeah. And when they do take them, we do make sure we lock up. If they have animals, we'll call the family and make sure the dogs get situated. Or sometimes the neighbors actually take care of the pets as well, which is very nice.
We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
They give us permission to open the doors for the neighbors, take the dogs out, feed them, and such.
Sure.
So it's really good. It's a good environment.
Well, the residents really do love the security team.
Oh, I can.
And we constantly hear rave reviews about just the interactions that they've had and the comfort that's in place. Because COVID for anybody's scary, but in this demographic, it's even more so. And I think that seeing the mask, seeing the gloves, knowing that you're there, smartwatches coming, just the way that this campus is evolving to meet the needs in real time, really fast.
Yes.
With a smile.
Right, and
is
something
critical.
you've done well. And I will say, I'm not just making this up, but I've heard really good comments about you in particular. And I know they feel safe. You know, obviously everybody loves Gino, and he's been around long enough.
Yes.
They know but I think you're right in there where people feel like, you know, in fact, one time when I was MOD, I was talking to somebody and they go, well, how come we just can't call Marcos? And I said, well, he has another life, so he does go home and he's not always here, but they really did. And I think you give people that feeling of, and I really applaud the team you've hired because
for sure.
I have felt that same way with all of them. Yeah. So good job.
Thank you.
Great
Appreciate
job.
it.
We are really happy you are here.
So with our last minute or so, give us a little context to where are you from, where'd you grow up, what
Okay, yeah, so I'm from Phoenix.
Okay.
Born and raised, born at St. Joseph's Hospital.
Okay.
Oh,
All
me
right.
too.
Yeah.
Halloween, so my birthday's coming up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's Halloween.
Happy
baby,
birthday
yeah.
soon.
Thank you. Went to school at Copper Canyon, graduated 2015.
Now, where's Copper Canyon?
It's right on 91st and Camelback.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty close.
Yes.
Play football over there?
I wrestled for 4 years.
Did you?
Yeah, I wrestled for 4 years. I got the colorful area.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
All right.
It's competitive. It was nice. I like challenges, yeah. So right now, I'm sorry, I keep losing my train of
No,
thought.
That's
you're
okay.
doing great, man.
Have you worked out with this guy yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We
When
haven't-
we
I'll try to
start
get
that
beat up.
back up,
Yeah.
you're gonna love
Yeah.
that.
I look forward to it.
We love getting your team involved with us working out down there. So then when you have to get these people out of the performance center to
Wow.
just get it, you're like, I know what you did in there.
And yeah,
Why
that
you're-
makes everybody feel good when you're in good shape.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome. Well, you did great. We love having you on
yes,
this campus.
and I want to say for all of those that don't get to see you often without the mask, you have beautiful teeth.
Thank you, I
They
appreciate
are
it.
really white and pretty. So
Good.
Appreciate
Well,
it. Smart
thanks
to
for
do.
everything you do.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thanks. We are so lucky to once again be joined by Dr. Gerald Berg. Dr. Berg,
Hey, thank you.
you're in the
Thanks
house.
for having me.
Man,
Oh,
we
we are
love having you
so
here.
happy
We're
you're
so
here.
lucky to have you here, and you've been on the show with us before,
Yep.
pre-COVID.
Yes.
So that feels like years and years and years ago at this point.
But
it's
it's
only
just
been
this year.
5 or 6 months. But a lot of things have changed for us, for you. So we thought we'd start. How did you get through this to get to this point, and how's COVID treated your business?
You know, it affected my business some at the beginning, but let's back up. I closed down for like 2 months, trying to figure out what I should do, how I could be safe, how I can treat people. You didn't know what it was going to be like
Sure.
and what you needed to do. So after working on it and thinking about it, I wear scrubs. You have never seen me in scrubs.
I was gonna say, I've never
Yeah.
seen this side of you.
Yeah. So the reason I do is because between every stop, I change my clothes.
Oh,
I put
nice.
new clothes on. So if there's any contamination, we try and eliminate it as much. I sanitize the heck out of everything. I wear a mask. I ask my patients to wear a mask.
Sure.
It's just like that's the
Right.
safe thing to do.
Right.
If I need to wear gloves, I'll wear gloves. I wash. Depends what's available. I spray all my equipment down. Between everything. So, and that's worked good. So, because chiropractic is the anti-social distancing.
You're right on top of each other. Yeah.
I mean, we're right there.
Right.
So you have to do as much as you can. And I get tested every couple of weeks or so.
Okay.
And just to make sure so you can have timelines that you can work with. I haven't run into anybody that has been in the link of COVID, so I've been really lucky.
That's great.
And I try and do just like singles or one location. Like we used to do stuff in the Performance Center.
Yeah.
I'll do it in the Performance Center one person at a time.
Sure.
It's not as whatever, but that's how I do stuff.
So when you took your little hiatus and you were just trying to think, how am I going to obviously exceed expectations when it comes to safety, but how was your mind during that time? Was there a little bit of angst of like, man, what does this look like going forward beyond the next 6 months, or what long term? How does this change an industry for yourself?
It's totally different, and one of the things that's helped my practice is I'm probably more of an acute treatment chiropractor. When somebody has a problem, they see me, and it's not the every week wellness kind of thing that some people promote. So it's like I can treat people 2 or 3 times and then we're done, and they're not as exposed as much and whatever it is. And my practice is mobile mostly, so I don't see high volumes of people. That helps me. That just inherently helps me.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
And so it's like I'm probably 70% of what I was pre-COVID. But it's like you have to give and take a little here and there.
Absolutely.
So safety is the utmost important.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to be a vector. That was my biggest scare. Is like, okay, I'm going from one person to the next person.
You don't want to cross.
How do I break that cycle so you don't spread it?
Right.
That's right.
Because that would be just what you can't have happen.
Absolutely.
Right. I think we've learned so much too during this. Going forward, those are probably really good practices when you think of the flu or anything.
That's
actually,
My table's never been so clean.
I know, and we have seen that here, and it just makes you feel better. I mean, because that should be our new normal.
That just makes sense. We got
does.
lazy.
And now we have had a reason to actually put it all in place, and we should continue.
Well, and it's almost every guest that we've had on, and looking at how all departments run on this campus, everybody's best practices change to that, what they should have been long ago. I mean, everybody in our world and your world, everybody stays clean and we sanitize. It's a gym where things are spread, but I'm with you, like we're taking layers off the equipment because we're on it all the time, every 10 minutes.
Right.
As soon as somebody leaves, we're on it. It's like our hands are just falling off.
Walking out,
So, but it is our new norm. And I think that's how we can stay moving forward.
That's a great thing to move forward with. Like
right,
you said.
I think
that's
so.
That's the key. That's, you learn something from every challenge you have in life. That's part of what we're learning.
Yeah.
Well, can we switch gears to the past maybe a little
Sure.
bit? So I would like to say...
Is this one of these moments?
That's right, yes.
We're going back in time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time machine. Okay. I was the first one on this campus.
Number one?
K is number
You're
one.
calling yourself
I am number
Not
one. Thank
number
you.
two.
No, definitely
You're not a number two?
You are. But I was your first client on this campus because I heard you speak at our West Valley Coalition that we do, and I was impressed. I'll tell you why. What made me ever call you was that you said that. I don't do the ongoing come in, because I personally was one of those that went twice a week for a year, and I had paid up front, so you were like, you went, but I never really felt different. And 5 minutes, whether I was really sore or not. And when I had you adjust me, it was life-changing for that. I mean, I needed you to come back because we had some issues to work through, but I saw significant change in one time. And I felt like you stayed and worked on my back and my knee and my neck until it all felt better. And I mean, I've had you come and adjust me over the years, and sometimes it's one and done, sometimes it's 2 times, and then because of that, John has had you adjust him, and so many people here, and it's because you're the real deal. I really want to say that.
Well, and that's why he's on our strategic therapy team, because Dr. Berg has been, I mean, we have so many mutual residents here that we both see. And I think that's what I always enjoy, is collaborating with somebody at your level that can say, okay, so-and-so in Core 8, I saw this morning, I know they're seeing you tomorrow. Here's what I did with them. Here's how you can benefit me on the back end to follow up the therapy I provided. And having that dialogue and that conversation is really what we try to do with this campus as a whole, is this team approach where it's, okay, this service provider I know is working with these residents that we see in the Performance Center. How can we tag team them to make a better product? And I think you've been great, obviously, addition to that. And you do great work with our residents.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking about a couple of patients. I had one patient on campus was sleeping in a chair and had done so for a very long time, and now she sleeps in her bed. And it was after just a few visits, really. It wasn't like this ongoing thing, but it was a few visits. You couldn't touch her toes, they were so sore. Now I can manipulate her foot and her ankle, and it's like a normal foot. It's like crazy.
That's got to make you feel good. You're making such a difference.
It does.
I know you get in your car and you have to go all over town and it's a grind, but when you see that, what you're doing for people, I mean, that's just awesome.
Well, and your programs.
Yeah, it's just, you're embedded into so much of what we do, because I really am a believer in how you're doing chiropractor care. Like, my background at Carolyn and Summit, we had a lot of chiropractors that were on our therapy team and massage therapy, but they were such a different mode of the way their modalities were working for the patient. And I feel like yours is almost that holistic approach where you're really looking at the person and not just, okay, you have a neck, I'm going to adjust your neck. It's getting to the root of so much.
Right.
And I think that really falls in line with ZoeLife and our idea of whole person wellness. So I think it's such a great fit.
Part of what's helped me, I mean, I've done this for a long time, but I look at the physiology and I try and make it as, in my mind, as simple, because simple seems to work for lots of people. And so if you have a joint that's irritated, your body tightens it up. So let's figure out how we can gently, without forces, coax your body into relaxing.
Right.
And there's certain techniques that you can do that, and I use acupuncture points to take and balance out energy, which seems really weird, but it's super gentle and it's crazy effective. It works on everyone.
Yeah.
And strain counter strain, it neurologically resets the tension in the muscles. So it's not just an adjustment that you might do. And as we age, we get more set in our ways in our body. So less is more typically, I find. And so if we just kind of coax it along, then the body takes over. I don't heal, the body heals itself. So if we can, I call it set the table.
Yeah.
Relax the muscles so more blood gets in there. Blood hauls the waste away, brings the nutrients in. Now your body heals itself. And it just works for people. And I'm really good at diagnosing what's going on.
Yeah.
Like to get to the real cause of it, because I've had people say, yeah, my wrist hurts, my thumb. Well, I look at their neck, and most carpal tunnel stuff comes from their neck and thoracic outlet.
Yep.
So if you don't address that, you miss the boat. You can adjust this till the cows come home.
Right.
And it's...
Yes.
Well, okay, so if our residents out there who want to get a hold of you, we'll put your number up, but we'll tell them the best way to reach you.
Calling or texting me is really good. If you text, that's awesome, because if I'm with a patient, I can't always answer.
Okay.
And you can leave a message. It's a little more cumbersome, but if you're good at texting, just say text
All right.
give me a
and
call.
We'll put that
and I'll do
number on the screen. But you have all sorts of opportunities for residents at their environment in the clinic with us downstairs.
Yeah, and
There's
if
a
they
lot
get a
of ways
hold
to
of
go.
you,
Yep.
you're always direct
Kind of
contact with
middleman to
me.
direct.
Or me, they could call.
Okay.
Number one.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we're
number one.
almost out of time, but one thing I would say is Dr. Berg was nice enough on our 80 days of giveaways to include one session with him. So some lucky one out there is going to get drawn and get that really good assessment and time with the doc. And I know we all love prizes that involve food and like games, but that's kind of
Health is
that's a
right
big
up
one
there.
to grab.
That's a good one.
I'd put it right up there with the TV they gave
I
out
would
today.
agree with
I think
that.
it's a great prize. So we appreciate you doing that. For
Yeah,
sure.
you're welcome. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks.
Doc. Well, what can I say?
You're
Where's
the
man?
best.
You're the best.
The only one thing that I would say if we have time is I try and make a difference on the first visit. Hardly anyone doesn't feel a change in
Yeah.
a visit.
Good.
So
Agreed.
it's not like you have to invest in 10 visits to
Right.
and figure it
Immediate
out.
difference.
You're gonna have a sense of
Awesome.
this is a good thing or not.
Great.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you.
All right, thank
Thank you.
What
What a show!
Hey,
It was awesome.
it was unbelievable.
Oh, yes.
We say it
And-
every week, but when you can pull a Dr. Berg in scrubs, mind you.
Yes.
I like the new look.
And I love the new protocols because you know what? You hear people saying they're doing things, but I really know
Yes.
he took 2 months off to think about it.
He literally stopped everything to
Right.
doing with his business
Right.
to reinvent that model.
Yep.
Because, and he said it, I'm nervous going house to house. I don't want to be a carrier of anything.
And
I
he
don't want
changes-
anybody to look at me like I did this to them.
No, and he changes his clothes between each visit. That's
That's
impressive.
a commitment.
That
That's
is a commitment. And
to
that's who he
mitigating
is.
every bit of risk he would take to the party.
Right.
And he's given us a session for the 80 days of giveaway.
I know.
This guy
I wish we
constantly
could
gives-
win that, but not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet, not so much.
So, and what about Marcos? Oh.
What can you say? I mean, he
Well,
said
he
it
has
out.
beautiful teeth.
Yeah.
I mean,
I said it was awkward. You said it was very poignant. Very
Well-
he's got white teeth. And he does.
He does, and it was hard not to just stare at them because they were so beautiful.
Okay.
Honestly.
We're going
But
off
in
the rails
addition
right
to
now.
that, he is amazing.
No,
on
he
our
does so
campus.
much for this campus. And again, that level of commitment to Glencroft and saying, okay, yeah, I'll take on transportation. Okay, I'll take on parking. And I'm also going to run security and help Gino get good people into this table. That's a lot of responsibility.
Yes, and wow, he does it well. I mean, the residents who know him already really, really trust him. And I think for those that are new, they're going to find the same thing and feel
Well, and I know
safe.
just firsthand because we've started going into a little bit of transportation conversations with some of the Parkinson's and stroke groups about getting some of these guys off campus to do some things. And the transportation is a big ship. And I'm trying to find when can I get the shuttle. And they've been so seamless to work with. Whatever you need, we're going to make it happen. They're so above and beyond. Is it going to help our residents? Yes, then I'm all in.
Yep.
I mean, that's the attitude. It's the
That
can-do
is.
attitude. So great interview. I love these little sneaky interviews we're getting with our
they
staff.
are really good.
Not the usual suspects. I like that.
I like it too.
On a note, I want to make sure that we touch on is universities are alive and well.
Oh, yes.
Our lectures going all the way through this week and into next. I mean, we are just humming along 3 or 4 a week, and we really want you to give us comments back if you're watching them at home. What you like, what you don't like, because this is the first time we're doing it, and we want to get better for the next semester because I don't think this is going anywhere with
No.
COVID. I think in terms
I
of
hope
spring
not.
semester,
Yes.
we're going to be in the same mold. So if you're watching and you want to participate in some feedback's a gift.
Okay.
So
and I have a great announcement. I'll probably save it for next week.
can I do one more? It's an important announcement.
Fast.
Cookbook.
Oh.
Resident-inspired ZoeLife cookbook. Packets are available in the administration building and in the performance center. These packets tell you the ins and outs of the program, but what we want is a recipe, a backstory of why this recipe is so important to you, and then down the ride, we might ask for some pictures and some fun to give it some color.
Okay.
But please pick up the packet, turn it in. It's due by November 6th.
Got it.
Are we out of time?
I think
Did
we're
we
out
get
of
this
time.
straight? I think we're
they
getting
didn't put any of that on right there.
I love
oh well.
They better have.
Okay.
Gabe, I'm looking at you. See you on the flippity flip,
Oh,
Glencroft.
there it is.